Here we determine the volume of solid obtained by revolving the region bounded by y equals x squared, y equals 9, x equal to 0, and x equal to 3 above the x-axis. So first we draw a sketch of this curves and the lines and identify the region which has to be revolved. So here we have this curve y equals x squared, y equals 9, and the lines x equal to 0 and x equal to 3, and we are rotating this about y-axis. So this represents the axis of revolution, which is y-axis. And so in this case, we can utilize this formula, that is a volume of solid obtained by revolving the region about y-axis is given by this formula, which is the definite integral of r of y quantity squared minus the small r of y quantity squared, and the limits are from y equal to c to y equal to t, and we should also multiply this with pi. So let's identify the big r of y and the small r of y. This big r of y is basically the radius of the right side curve. So we can write the big r of y, and this equals the, as we can see from the figure, it is the distance from x equal to 0 to x equal to 3. So it's basically 3. And now let's identify this r of y, and this one is basically the radius of the leftmost curve. As we can see from this figure, this the small r of y is the distance between x equal to 3 and y equals x squared. So we can write down this as 3 minus, we have to solve for x from this one. So if y equals x squared, solving this by taking square root on both sides, we get square root of y equals x. So x represented by this curve is root y. So we put root y here. That is, we subtract root y from 3, which gives this small radius. Now let's identify the limits, that is y equals c, which is here it is y equals 0, so c equals 0. Now y equals d, the upper limit is represented by y equals 9, so the top one is 9, so therefore d equals 9. So we can put these values into the formula to determine the volume of solid. So therefore we write volume of solid obtained, and this equals pi times of the definite integral from y equal to c to y equal to d. C is 0 and d is 9. So I put 0 and 9 times the big R of y quantity square, which is 3. So this one is 3 squared minus the small r of y, which is 3 minus root y quantity square. So I put 3 minus root y. This has to be quantity square. And then we put this dy. So let's simplify this and evaluate this definite integral. So we have pi times of the definite integral from 0 to 9. 3 square is 9 minus, we expand this using binomial square identity. So that will be 3 squared, which is 9, minus 2 times 3 is 6. So it is 6 times root y. We then put root y quantity square, which is y. And so we put dy. Now we see that this one is positive 9, this one is negative 9. So these two becomes 0. And let's expand the bracket. So we have pi times of the definite integral from 0 to 9. So we have to change this sign. This one, since we have a negative in front, so this one will be 6 root y minus y. Then dy. So let's integrate the terms inside the bracket and substitute the limits. So here we have pi times of, we can rewrite this as a power form, that is 6 times of y power 1 by 2. And integrating this, we get, we add 1 to it to the power and divide by the same number, 1 by 2 plus 1. So this one equals 3 by 2. So it is y power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. And so the integral of 6 root y is 6 times y power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2 minus, if we integrate this y, the power of this one is 1, so it is y raised to the power of 1 plus 1, which is 2, divided by 2, and then 0 to 9. Now let's simplify this. So this gives pi times of, we have 6 in the numerator and divided by 3 by 2. So it's basically multiplying by 2 by 3. So this goes 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. So this one is 4 times of y power 3 by 2 minus y squared by 2. We apply 0 to 9. So here we have, let's apply the upper limit. So therefore this becomes pi times of 4 times of 9 power 3 by 2 minus 9 squared divided by 2. We replace y by 9. And then if we apply the lower limit 0, this will become 0 and this will also become 0. So you can ignore that. So we close this bracket. And so this gives pi times of 4 times 9 power 3 by 2. This basically equals 9 raised to the power of 1 by 2 and then raised to the power of 3, which is 9 power 1 by 2, and then we cube it. 9 power 1 by 2 is basically square root of 9, and this we have to cube it. Square root of 9 is 3, so it is 3 cube, which is 27. So we put 27 here, minus 9 square is 81 by 2. And so simplifying this, we get 27 times 4 equals 108. And so this equals pi times of 108 minus 81 by 2. You can write 108 as 108 by 1. And we can reduce this fraction to multiply this 108 by 2, which gives 216 by 2 minus 81 by 2. And so therefore this equals 216 minus 81, and this equals 135. So it's basically 135 by 2 times pi, or otherwise this one is 67.5 pi. This is unit cube, or we can also approximate this to, when multiplying by pi, we get 212.058, and this is also unit cube. So this is the volume obtained by revolving the region about y-axis.